Excuse me, Mayor. I know you mentioned at the beginning there will be no comments, but according to Mr. Brazo, is this the investigation? Is it completed, Mr. Tarski?
It is.
Okay, so, you know, they say we can't comment until the investigation gets completed. Well, it's done, okay? And I, for one, I'm not going to sit here and not make a comment about what was said, okay? I am insulted, Mr. Prado. These families are insulted by your comments today. Okay? The way this report was put on display, it was a question and answer. Did they do this? No. Did they do that? No. You know, I wish Mr. Prado would just stand up, take the podium, face the families, and gives a report, not a question and answer. Okay? It's not just a question and answer. This is not a court hearing, Mr. Tarski. This is not a court hearing. Did we have somebody, an attorney from the families to ask him questions, a rebuttal? No. This is not the way it should have been presented. I am embarrassed. I am insulted. These families deserve to know. They deserve these answers. They need to have a responsive explanation. Not just say this happened and that happened, he did, he didn't. Policy and procedures, I know about policy and procedures, Mr. Peralta. I've been in law enforcement for over 30 years. And if I violated policy, and I have violated policy, and I was disciplined for that. So, for you to come in here and say, no, everything was hunky-dory, you know, they did their job. I can't accept that. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna read your report. I couldn't keep up writing notes here by your comments. I couldn't keep up with them. But I'm gonna read your report, Mr. Prado, and I'm gonna have a lot of questions. And I hope you're there to answer them, or somebody to answer these questions, because I wanna know, and these families for sure wanna know. We owe it to them. And there needs to be some accountability for this. This is what the families want. This is what I thought was going to turn out to be accountability. And I guess I'm the only one on this table. I hope somebody else speaks up, because they need to. You know, everybody here was elected to represent Uvalde. Everybody has their own district, but we all represent Uvalde. We have to answer to y'all. Y'all deserve it. Right or wrong, you know, you need an answer. If we dropped the ball, we messed up, we need to, you know, we need to face up to it. Okay? Yeah. And somebody mentioned here earlier that the heroes were Ms. Mireles, Ms. Garcia. They stood up and did what they could to protect the children. I'm disappointed. I'm very insulted by this report. The families deserve more. This community deserves more. We, you know, we're not a big community. This is not New York City. We know each other. We know these families. And they deserve a thorough investigation, a thorough explanation. I'm sorry, but I don't accept this report without further explanation, and y'all shouldn't either.
Most of you guys know me, and I'm a pretty straight shooter. I've talked to almost every single one of you guys. And I've been sitting there, I've been shaking for the last hour. I'm so pissed off at what happened today. And I know you guys are, and I'm hearing it. This thing, we've not seen the report. This is the first time we've heard it. We did not know this was going down this way, and I want to discuss this in private under executive session, but I assure you, this is not what we wanted, and this did not happen how we thought it would happen. I usually a pretty good talker, and I'm very, very upset at how this went down today. I'm sorry. I apologize to every single one of you.
I'd like to have the other members on this council with opportunity for them to speak up and say something. They are elected officials.
Y'all really don't need to talk if y'all don't want to, because I think we got the picture and we know it.
This is my first time here. I know a lot of y'all. You all know me. Enrique Avalos, Jr. I used to work at Walmart. Now it seems to me, after hearing this pile of crap, most, if not all, of retail companies have a better active shooter class than y'all. Less than 400 law enforcement officers responded, and not one could breach to get the killer. Every man and woman that took that oath to serve and protect, whether it arises, should kill or be killed. That did not happen. Thank you.
Okay, we had skipped item number 4, executive session. I'd like for us to go ahead and have an executive session. 4A, convene an executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney to discuss pending or contemplated litigation or on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551 related to the Robb School Elementary incident on May 24th, 2022. Immediately following that, we will visit with any family members. Mayor Pro Tem and Zamora and I will visit with any family members that would like to do so. We're going to go across the hall into executive session. Right now it is, okay, we're going back here to the cactus. Time is 3:57.
State House Committee, the Department of Justice, said responding officers should have now. Your report is complete. You're an independent person. You were paid a significant amount of money to do this. Speak. Tell us how you could come up with these.
report?
I have read it. I have read it.
You read that report?
Well, whatever you said, I have said. And I saw that every single officer, you have exonerated every single officer.
Sir, with all due respect, you have nothing to say to the families. The survivors were here.
Ma'am,
the families are
I'm
here.
sure there'll be a different time when I can come back and speak to them.
They're here
Right
now. Why not talk to
they've
them now?
asked me to do what I've done, and I'm sure I'll come back at another time and speak to them.
This year?
Prado, how
We're
much
hitting
were you
2
paid
years.
to do this report in total? How much did this cost the taxpayers?
Of these families and what happened here today? Or you're just not going to answer our questions?
I'm not going to answer at this point.
Why not?
okay?
This is
Because
your
I'm not
opportunity to
done
speak
with-
to us.
I'm not done with the job on their side. I'm done with the report, but they still have some questions that they need to ask.
Well,
me,
you
so I'll wait for
left.
them.
You left and you wouldn't answer their questions. You left. You left. Do you disagree with what the Department of Justice said?
A parent is here now asking you questions.
She wants to ask you right now. She's here.
They're-
They're here.
Her son's birthday should have been Tuesday. Answer her.
His name is Xavier Lopez. You're not going to talk to his mother, Felicia? She's right here. You're not going to talk to her?
What did you want to ask him, Felicia?
If he really felt what he had to say today was the right thing. What I want to ask him is that how he really feels that the officers did. Did they do right? Does he really believe that they did right? That's what I want to ask him. How does he sleep at night knowing that this is what he had to say? And he hurt all of us today, just opened wounds after wounds after wounds. I wanted to ask him if that's really how he felt. That's what I wanted to ask him. But as usual, just, protected by the officers. They like to protect those ones that are adults, that could just walk around, but they can't protect the children, our children. I wanted to ask him that question.
Can I ask you to tell us about your child that was...
About Xavier.
My baby is Xavier.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about him.
He was full of life. His birthday's coming up on Tuesday. And we're gonna go and celebrate with him at the cemetery. Instead of celebrating with him at a table, setting a crowd for him, singing happy birthday, we're gonna be at the cemetery singing to him. We can't do our traditional, what everybody does, when they get to shove the face in the cake and everybody laugh. Because he loved doing that, he thought it was funny. We don't get to do that with him. We don't get to do the cake on the face, the icing on the nose, or, on the brothers. We're not gonna get to do that.
Or the waking up at midnight telling them happy birthday, giving them kisses.
We always wake up, everybody in our family, we always wake up at midnight, and we always sing happy birthday. Because we like to get the surprise face. Get it, just surprise. We don't get to do that with him.
It seems like Prado was scared. That's why he left abruptly before answering
Yeah.
your questions. Xavier was scared in his last moments too.
He was.
Yes, he was.
But he fought. He fought for as long as he could.
And that's all we're asking for these people to do, is to fight. Just like Xavier did. But they won't.
Can you believe what he did? Like how he came in here and essentially said what he said, given...
No. And then to say that the crowd was the reason why the cops couldn't get in there. There was cops already in there, and they didn't do nothing. They froze. Us parents, families, were willing to go into that school, willing to give their lives for them, to get them out. They didn't do that. So we just want justice. We want justice for the 21. We want justice for the victims. We just want justice, for all of us. That's all we want. And we're just asking for these people to stand up and say, you know what? I'm done being part of this ugly crowd. Let me stand up and be the man and say, you know what? I'm going to do what's right. That's all we're asking, is for somebody to just stand up for us.
Your taxpayer dollars went to pay for this man to do his investigation. 6 figures to do this investigation. Is that money well spent out of your pocket?
That's my son's blood money. Those are my kids, our children that bled. That's their money that paid for this ridiculous joke of an investigation. That's what that was. That's what that was.